Appeals meeting of April 20th, 2023 is now in session. The first order of business is to approve the meetings from the March 30th, 2023 meeting. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Quorum for that.
Either of those?
No.
Thank you for letting me know. We can't adopt the resolutions either.
Staff?
Yeah, that's
No.
not. Those are.
With us?
Last meeting. Okay, our public hearing today is V-23.
Okay, we're not up to that yet. I was just, no.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was, so you know that we're not approving the minutes or
Do we
the...
have the quorum to...
No, we don't. I thought we passed that. Okay.
The board will now conduct the public hearing on today's agenda. The way we work it here is that the applicant or the applicant's representative will state the reasons for the requested variance, then any material or documentation which is to be considered regarding the proposal. Next, persons wishing to speak in favor of the proposal will be given the opportunity to address the board. And persons who wish to speak in opposition will be allowed to address the board. Finally, the applicant or representative will be given the option to make any closing arguments or comments to the board. Following the public hearings this afternoon, the board may make a decision on each application heard. The board may also decide to hold this decision until the next public hearing. If the hearing is closed, no additional information will be allowed into the record except for information that the board may request. That information will be available for public review at the zoning office in City Hall Commons. Staff will now introduce the first application.
Mr. Chairman and members of the board, I just want to say at the outset prior to this public hearing that because seeker hasn't been completed on this, you may have the public hearing today, but you may not take a vote. You have a choice either to leave the public hearing open or close it, but you should not engage in your deliberations for the vote. You can only do the public hearing today.
So that was going to be my first question before anybody spoke, because I knew about that.
Yeah.
So you're saying that we should definitely conduct the hearing.
That's up to you.
Okay.
Seeker has not even started yet. So it's your call whether you have the public hearing, but you absolutely may not vote on the item.
That's minimally weeks off and months off based on, what experience we just had, a year off, who knows? So I'm just raising that.
No, that is a good issue.
Yeah, right.
Should we have the hearing now?
Okay, so we need to start with a motion.
We do.
Don't we need to start with a motion and second and then discuss? To either to have the hearing or not have the hearing today.
Can you give us some kind of sense of seeker, when it will be ready?
I really don't know. It depends on whether they make a negative declaration or a positive declaration.
So they could make a negative, and that would be...
Then we could go. Then we could move ahead.
They could, but
It's a huge,
it's a big project, and
complex project.
I can't speculate on what the Planning Commission might do. So you really have to just take it in context right now. Seeker hasn't even begun. They've only declared themselves as the lead agency. Nothing else has happened.
Yeah, and even if they make a negative declaration, we still, as we know, can hold a hearing and make a decision in the same day. That's the way we usually work. But we could.
And members of the public may have come today.
That I realize. I understand that.
I guess one of the issues is that there's no public hearing required for seeker, so this is the public's opportunity to make comments on the application. But there is that gap that...
Right. But in the end, we still have to vote on a lot of different variances.
Yes.
And it will not be...
And you will not engage in your deliberations today either. So.
Right, yes, we understand that. I've kind of hinted how I feel. There's a
Seeker could take so long that rezone might be passed before it's done.
We had a recent experience where it took a long time because of the need for an environmental impact statement.
So I'll make a motion that we put off the hearing until we know that there's a negative or positive declaration from the planning commission.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second that.
So, continuing discussion, also, that'll give us an opportunity to have more people here. We're missing a bunch of people here.
Exactly.
There are some here today, but
Yeah, and I'll
I don't know if we can let him, let's ask,
can we
can we allow him to speak?
to say something? We know him, he's a good guy.
It's not an open forum. I mean, you're either
Right.
going to have the
We're
hearing
not gonna have the
or not.
hearing.
It's not here on a discussion item, so
So we need to vote on this, and then we'll see if we're having a hearing or not.
Okay, well, we need all 4 votes. Oh, no, it's a vote against. Okay. All those in favor of the motion to delay the hearing, say aye.
Aye.
I apologize to anyone who's come here. It's a small, everything in Syracuse is 10 minutes from here, so, you know, we recently had an experience where we had the hearing, and then it was another year before we got to do this. We don't think that's a good way of gathering the information. So, that's it. There are no resolutions. Motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
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 Apologize again.